What up, folks? Back at it. F.O.M.C. The federal funds rate. We want to keep this under 10 minutes. A news event, a very important news event. We got to get our fingers on the pulse of what's going on here, right? It took me a couple years to know when these meetings are. You want to know the date of the meeting, and want to know the month of the meeting. Now, the fiscal year begins in September or October. The end of the fiscal year is September. The beginning of the new fiscal year is October. And we have federal funds rate meetings, FOMC, the Federal Reserve meeting, where they decide on if they're going to cut the interest rates, raise the interest rates, or pause. We know we're heading into quantitative easing. How do we know that? They decided to stop tightening on December 1st of last year. We're no longer raising interest rates and monetary tightening. So now we're going into quantitative easing, which consists of lowering the interest rates and printing tens of trillions of dollars. Once they print that money, it's going straight into the system. So why Trump wants to have the interest rates down? Because nobody wants to do anything with their money at a high interest rate. They want to do it at a low interest rate, which is why he's trying to get the interest rates down. Good morning. So we probably won't get a cut today. He'll probably pause. But we know he's not going to raise. How do we know he's not going to raise? Because when you start cutting interest rates, the way you can raise the interest rate is that you have to pause first. In the last meeting in October, we cut the interest rates. September, we cut the interest rates. We skipped October. November, we cut the interest rates. December, we cut the interest rates. For him to raise the interest rate, he has to pause first. And then in the next meeting, he can raise. He can't go from cutting straight to raising. And you can't go from raising straight to cutting. When you're done raising, you have to pause. And then the next meeting, you have the option to cut. This is information that no one told me. It's my responsibility to be accountable to the people around me, to pass forward the truth, the proper information, what we are looking for and what we are waiting for, right? We want to see cutting. I don't know any millionaires. I don't know any rich people. I don't know anybody that has enough money to just do whatever they want to do. We need the interest rates to come down, the cost to borrow. We need it to come down. And there are people that are in worse positions than I am. They can't do anything at high interest rates. They need the rates to come down. So once we get the new federal chair in May or June, supposedly, we get the new person in the Federal Reserve, rumor is that he's going to start cutting rates because we're at 3.75 to 3.5 right now. And the goal is 2%. The federal funds rate. That's not the rest of the rates. That's not the 10-year yield. It's the federal funds rate. How far down can they get it? They can do what they want to do. If they want it down to 2%, they could just send it straight down to 2%. But you mess up things, right? We don't know. It's above our pay grade, right? So, but I want to make it clear what we do here is pass forward the proper information. I used to think that the decision happened by 8 o'clock. I'm on the West Coast. It's 9:30 right now. Waiting all day long. Oh, isn't it like at 5:30 in the morning? Oh, is it at 8 o'clock? No, it's at 11:30. It's at the end of the session, right? It took me years to figure that out. I knew that they were doing Fed cuts or, whatever it is, but when is it, right? You want to know what, where, why, when, how. You need to know all of that. I've grabbed all this information and I present it. I just started my channel within the last month, really. I've been doing this on my own with my groups and all that, and just giving them the information as I get it, right? I've always been the most active member. I know there's a purpose for what I do. It's the best in the world. I made it. I know exactly what it is. And I know what the trash is, and I know what the best is. I know what the top shelf is, because I'm on the top shelf. So when there's a news event, you need to know when it is, the day. We surround ourselves with people who know. We can look at Gareth Soloway. Plenty of, if you want to call them influencers. I'm not an influencer. I'm the best. So they can be influencers all they want to be. And it ain't no cult followings with me. No. If you're speaking the truth, it's not no cult. You got a bunch of cults out here. You got people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Got millions of subscribers leading them straight to the slaughterhouse. But that's that. So we know what day it is because we listen to Gareth Soloway. I love Gareth Soloway. I've always promoted his information. He keeps us in the know. The best newscaster, if you want to call it. Somebody's going to keep you up to date on what's going to happen on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, all that. Good person to follow. Very consistent with his videos and all that. And then we find a few other people that are great with their distribution of the truth, right? So we know the day, we know the time, 11:30. It's not 5:30 in the morning. And non-farm payroll is 5:30 in the morning. ADP, 5:30 in the morning. CPI, PPI, 5:30 in the morning. PCE, 5:30 in the morning. But the Fed meeting is at 11:30 at the end of the session. So if we have a news event that's as important as this is, because we got to find out, too, within the next couple of days, are we going into a government shutdown? So we got the federal funds rate and government shutdown. Super volatile. Very important stuff. So if there's something super volatile about to happen, you want to go and look at the gauntlet and get a snapshot of how it looks before and then after. So we look at the dollar. We see they're printing money. How do we know? The more money that's printed, the further down the dollar is going to go. And we're quantitative easing. That means they're going to print. They're just getting started. They're talking about 40 billion a month. No, we're talking, it's not 40, it's not hundreds of billions. It's trillions that moves the market. The market is moving. That means they're printing more than 40 billion a month. But again, we know they're printing and we see it through the dollars dropping, and it's going to continue to drop. It'll have its ebbs and flows, but ultimately it's going to head to the downside. So we're getting a lesser value dollar. The same dollar that we all work for is a lesser value dollar, but we're doing the same work and breaking our backs for a lesser value dollar. And then the interest rate is going up. So it's costing more to borrow lesser value dollars. You see how we're getting scammed here? This has to do with every single one of us. You got dollars in your wallet or your bank account, then this has to do with you. So we see that the 10-year is up and it's staying up. It's going up even further. They're making the pressure even more stronger on us. How much can you take? I'm okay, but it's not good for the average person to have to work harder for a lesser value dollar and have to it's more expensive to rent, we call it tariffs and all that, and that's cool. But ultimately, the things are getting more expensive because the dollar value is going down. So we'll go to the VIX. We see the volatility is down. If there was a problem and the market was going to sell off, then we would see the VIX going up to like 35, 40, 50, 60, up there, and then you would see the market fall down. But you see the VIX is low. It's down 35, 25, 15, down at the 15-ish level. It's still low. There's nothing really happening there. It can snap at any time. It can go straight volatile. But that's why you put alerts on it. I need to put my alerts in that little bracket down there, 35, 25, 15. If it gets up towards 25, 35, I have my alerts set up at those levels, and then it'll tell me, oh, okay, we're getting a spike. But today, I'm going to add the gold volatility. Very important. The gold volatility is spiking to the upside. When it spikes to the upside, it warns of a reversal on gold. Gold will continue to go up to wherever they're going to revalue it at. But when this gold volatility index starts to spike, you should be looking for a pullback, right? So I just got put onto this chart, so I just wanted to promote that to you. Another thing to put an alert on, right? And then the fear and greed index. You see the fear and greed for the stock market is starting to turn towards greed. We want to see it at extreme greed, and we want to see the volatility index go up to 60. We want the volatility index to go up to 60, 70, 80, 65, 75, 85, while the fear and greed goes to extreme greed, and then you'll look for a reversal, right? No one taught me this. I just learned all this as I saw fit, right? Pulling in the good and leaving out the bad, right? Keeping myself away from predators and people who prey on other people's capital with garbage information. I had to pull away from all those types of people. That's not how I function, right? So you know who we do it for the people, not the profits. You see the crypto is not at extreme fear. Extreme fear, you want to look towards dollar cost averaging on your buying positions and stuff like that. But we see that the commodities, once the dollar starts losing all that value, the commodities are gonna skyrocket. And crypto is a commodity. Thank you to XRP for beating the SEC, Gary Gensler's SEC. He took off the head of the snake, and then XRP made it clear that cryptos are commodities, right? This is what a lot of people don't understand. Crypto is commodity. So when the dollar falls, it's going to eventually trickle its way, and the floodgates are going to open. Once the Clarity Act is passed and the banks and the institutions have legal clarity, then all that liquidity is going to pump into cryptos, especially the ones with the futures contracts. A little bit of a long message today, but again, we don't have nothing going on for another 2 hours. The F.O.M.C meeting is at 11:30. Well, it starts at 11, but 11 to 11:30. So you know what we do here. We do it for the people and not the profits. It's the consistency and the persistency of doing things correctly that wins in the market. To beat the market, you must become the market. And the market moves with integrity through the price, all kinds of prices. The market is the market. The gold metals market, the crypto market, the stock market, oil, natural gas, different kinds of markets that all function through the basic scale of 100. I love being the captain of this ship, getting people one trader at a time, getting them with the right information so that they can take advantage of it, so they can save themselves and their family. To beat the market, you must become the market. The market moves with integrity through its price. And if you don't have the integrity of the price, you get wrecked. You're doing it opposite. You're buying high and selling low and being in the middle of all structures when you should be selling high, buying low, and staying away from the middle of structures. I repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. I'm Mr. Repetition. I have to do these things because it's not known. I have to make it known and make it clear for the people. Hey.